Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're really going deep into the psychology of persuasion.
Ooh, sounds intriguing.
It is, right? We're going to be looking at how people can be convinced to buy something, even if the product itself, I don't know, isn't like groundbreaking.
I think we've all been there, right? Like that impulse buy that you later regret.
Exactly. And we're using this YouTube video by Myron Golden, entrepreneur and motivational speaker. It's really about think of it as decoding the psychology of a sales pitch.
Oh, so we're going behind the curtain. I like it.
Yeah, but instead of feeling manipulated, you'll be like, oh, I see what you did there, and you'll walk away feeling empowered.
So we're learning the magician's secrets, but for marketing.
Exactly. And Golden makes this point about the difference between intrinsic value, like how good something actually is, and perceived value.
Oh, so how good the customer thinks it is.
Yes. And you know what? People buy based on that perceived value.
Makes sense. We're all influenced by perception to some degree.
It's like he says, no one would pay $1 for another dollar.
Unless they thought that dollar was somehow, I don't know, special.
Right. They want to believe they're getting more than what they paid for.
It's all about the added value, the transformation.
Yes.
Wow.
And that's where the idea of transformation comes in. People aren't buying products, they're buying into a better version of themselves.
A solution to their problems, like a shortcut to a better life.
It's the payoff that sells, not the product itself. And he tells this great story about finding his tailor.
Oh, tell me more.
He wasn't even looking for a new tailor, but this woman, she calls him up out of the blue.
Talk about being in the right place at the right time.
Right. And because she reached out with, the right offer at the right time, he's like, yes, please. It was an easy yes.
And what I find fascinating about this story is he wasn't actively searching for a tailor.
Yeah, he wasn't.
But he was still receptive. So it's almost like there's this underlying desire, right, for change, for improved, even when we're not aware of it.
Totally. So then the question is, how do businesses tap into that and make their offers irresistible? Golden gives 4 key factors.
Okay, lay them on me.
All right, so first up, desirability. How much does the audience want the promised outcome?
This is where knowing your customer really comes in. It's not just about a catchy slogan. It's about understanding their needs, their wants.
You got to hit those pain points.
Exactly. Like you said, it's about tailoring your message to speak directly to that specific audience. Golden stresses this a lot.
Next is doability. This is a big one, right? Can people actually achieve the outcome you're promising?
That's where proof comes in, right?
Yeah.
Testimonials, success stories, anything that makes people believe, hey, if they did it, maybe I can too.
It's all about that me too feeling, building trust and credibility. Because if it sounds too good to be true...
Right. People get skeptical. Testimonials, real life examples, it makes it all feel much more believable, much more achievable.
All right, last 2, rapid fire. Delay. How quickly can people expect results? Quicker reward?
The more tempting the offer, of course. We're all about instant gratification these days, aren't we?
And then, of course, we got to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Discipline. Achieving anything worthwhile takes effort.
No pain, no gain, as they say. It's refreshing that Golden is upfront about this. He doesn't pretend it's all sunshine and rainbows.
He's honest about the work involved, for sure. And he actually uses this great example, his book, The Mindset of a Millionaire.
Okay, how does that tie in?
Well, think about it. The actual value of a book, the cost of printing, the paper, the binding, pretty low.
You're right, the physical object itself isn't worth much.
But the perceived value, the potential for change, the promise of learning those millionaire secrets, that's where the magic happens.
People are buying into the idea of transformation, of becoming a millionaire, not just the physical book.
Exactly. And Golden argues that understanding these 4 factors, that's the key to crafting offers that really resonate with people.
Offers that speak to our desires and make us believe in the possibility of change.
So, are you ready to dive deeper into the psychology of a compelling offer?
Absolutely. Let's unravel how these 4 factors work together to create irresistible propositions. Okay, so let's unpack these 4 factors a little bit more.
Okay.
And I think a good starting point is desirability and doability.
Right.
It's one thing to create an offer that speaks to those deep desires we have. But if it feels impossible to achieve, I don't know, the appeal kind of fizzles out.
It's like dangling a carrot just out of reach.
Totally.
Frustrating.
Yeah. So how do you bridge that gap?
Yeah,
right?
how do you...
Golden really stresses the power of proof.
Okay.
Testimonials, those success stories, anything that shows, hey, look, real people are getting the results.
It makes it seem more real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes that transformation tangible, right? It becomes something that others have done, so you start to think, well, maybe I can too.
It's not just some far-off dream anymore.
Exactly. And he even talks about like documentation, especially for things like health and financial transformations.
Yeah, because you can't just say, I lost weight or I made $1 million.
Right. Vague claims don't really cut it.
Yeah.
You need that evidence, the before and after pictures,
The spreadsheets.
Yeah, to back it up. Show that it's not just hype, it's real.
And this actually reminds me of that story about his tailor.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't just tell him, like, hey, I'm a great tailor.
Right.
She reached out at the perfect time when he had that need.
So her service was both desirable and doable.
Exactly. Because he needed a tailor, and she was right there.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about her skills. It was about the timing, and the relevance of her offer.
She made herself findable at the perfect moment.
And I think this applies to way more than just tailoring.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Think about it. Those targeted ads that pop up online
Oh, tell me about it.
right after you've been searching for something specific.
It's like they're reading your mind.
It's not a coincidence, right?
Nope.
Someone's figured out that you're interested and bam, there's an ad.
Okay, so speaking of, being targeted and getting what you want, let's talk about delay.
Okay.
This one's for the impatient people like me.
I feel you.
How fast can you see results?
This is huge, especially in our instant gratification world.
Tell me about it. I want it all, and I want it now?
Right. And Golden actually uses this really good example, his own weight loss journey.
Oh, right. He lost a lot of weight quickly.
Exactly.
Right.
And for him, that rapid transformation, it was super compelling, right? Like it motivated him to keep going.
I could see that.
But he also stresses that it's not about, endorsing those quick fix solutions.
Right. Those never work in the long run.
It's more about understanding the psychology. We're wired to want results fast.
So how do you balance that need for speed with the fact that real transformation, lasting change, it takes time?
That's the tricky part.
Right.
Golden talks about, focusing on those short-term wins.
Oh.
Those little milestones that keep you motivated and engaged.
So it's like celebrating those small victories along the way.
Exactly. Because you're acknowledging that, yeah, the big goal might take a while,
Right.
but there are rewards all along the way to keep you going.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then, of course, that's where the discipline piece comes in, right?
That consistent effort Golden talks about, the non-negotiable part of achieving any goal.
And he also has this idea about deleting priorities.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Letting go of things that aren't serving you.
Exactly, to create space for the things that matter.
It's about being intentional with your energy.
And I think that's really powerful because he's not just saying work harder.
Right.
He's saying, look, be mindful of where you're focusing your energy. Make sure it's aligned with your goals.
I love that. It's so much more empowering than just hustle, hustle, hustle.
And actually, there's this quote he mentions from his friend, Dr. Benjamin Hardy, who wrote the book, 10x is easier than 2x.
I haven't read that one.
It's a great book.
Yeah.
And it basically argues that sometimes the most productive thing you can do is simplify. Not adding more to your plate, but actually taking things away.
Like decluttering your to-do list.
Exactly. So it challenges that whole hustle harder mentality and says sometimes less is more.
Okay, I'm adding that book to my list.
Do it. And this whole idea ties back to the perceived value of Golden's book.
Oh, how so?
It's not just about the information in those pages, right?
Right.
It's about the promise of simplifying your life,
Okay.
focusing on the things that really matter, and, achieving those 10x results.
It's about packaging that transformation in a way that feels doable.
Exactly. It's a path to a better life, but it doesn't require you to be superhuman.
You just need the right mindset and the right strategies. It's funny, I was just thinking that Golden himself is like a walking example of all this.
You're right. He doesn't just talk the talk.
He lives it.
Right. His story, going from those financial struggles.
Yeah, he was in debt, right?
Yeah. And he built this multi-million-dollar business.
That's pretty inspiring.
It's that classic rags to riches story. But what makes it work is, he's honest.
He's real about it.
He talks about those tough times, the sacrifices,
The doubts.
the self-doubt he had to overcome.
And that's what makes it relatable.
Right.
Right.
It makes his success feel earned, not like he just got lucky or something.
It's something anyone can achieve, theoretically.
Exactly. With the right mindset, the right effort.
And this ties back to that discipline factor.
For sure.
Because he didn't just magically become successful, right?
Yeah, he had to hustle.
He had to make tough choices, stay focused,
even when things were hard.
And he talks a lot about mindset too, right?
Yeah, he's big on that.
Like the power of believing in yourself.
Even when, everything around you is telling you it's not going to work.
It's about visualizing your success, like seeing it already happening.
That's powerful stuff.
It's not just about, positive thinking though, right?
Right.
It's about action.
And your environment too.
Oh yeah, he talks about that.
The people you surround yourself with.
He's got that great line, right? You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
So true. If you want to be successful, surround yourself with successful people.
People who inspire you, who challenge you.
People who believe in you.
People who push you to be better.
And Golden's story is a testament to that. He didn't do it alone. He built this whole network of mentors and collaborators.
People who helped him along the way.
People who saw his vision.
And shared it.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Myron Golden's world,
yeah, it's been a great conversation.
I want to leave you with this challenge.
Ooh, I love a challenge.
Golden talks about being aware of the perceived value of things.
Right, not just the actual price tag.
Think about a recent purchase you made, anything, big or small.
Doesn't matter what it was.
Ask yourself, were you drawn to the product itself?
Okay.
Or to the promise of something more?
Like a solution to a problem, a better version of yourself.
Exactly. How did the seller use those 4 factors?
Yeah.
Desirability, doability, delay, discipline.
Oh, that's good.
To influence your decision. What language did they use?
The images, the colors.
How do they create that sense of urgency, that excitement?
The FOMO, the fear of missing out.
By understanding these tactics, we become more conscious consumers.
We're not just blindly following trends.
We're making choices that align with our values.
And our goals.
And maybe, just maybe, you'll even be inspired to use these principles in your own life.
Oh, I like that.
Whether it's, your personal goals or your professional endeavors.
So it's like turning the tables, right?
In a way, yeah. Think about how you can make your own offers irresistible.
Not through manipulation, but by genuinely connecting with people.
Understanding their desires, offering real value.
And a path to a better version of themselves.
Because, at the end of the day, that's what Golden's message is all about.
Yeah.
The power of transformation for ourselves and for the people we want to serve.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep reaching for that better version of you.